What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So on this week's episode of Gear 101, we have the Ruger American 350 Legend, and this video is all about this right here. This is the Leupold VX Freedom 350 Legend. So this scope is designed specifically for the 350 Legend caliber, and what I want to see today is whether or not this thing will track. So it's designed that you have it set at 100 yards, so you're going to zero at 100 yards. You're going to set the CDS dial down, lock it in place, and then you should, in theory, be able to twist it to the different yardages. It's marked here. It's got a 1.5, 2, 2.5, which obviously, 200, 250 yards, So what we're going to do is we have a target set up at about 100 yards. Well, it is 100 yards, and it is a little bit shot up, so off to the side I just kind of scribbled in about a 3-inch circle, and then up on the hillside there at 200 yards I have a 6-inch piece of steel. So what I'm going to do is all in real time. I'm not going to edit anything, so hopefully you can kind of see what it's doing, because it might work, it might not, I don't know. I have lined this thing up at 100 yards, so what we're going to do is fire the first round at 100 yards into that circle that I've made, spin it to 2, which should be 200 yards. I'm going to shoot the piece of steel up there, and hopefully you can hear it ring. Hopefully I can hear it ring, because I hope it hits it. And then we're going to spin it back down to the 1 for 100 yards and shoot another one and see how closely those first and third shots are, and see if it looks like it's tracking like it's supposed to. So far out of the ammo that I've shot in this thing, the 150 grain Winchester Deer Season XP has shot the best as far as most consistent patterns, so that's what we're going to use today. Got 3 rounds here. That's all I've got in there. We're going to load it, shoot it. So for the 200 yard shot, I've got to throw another sandbag up there, so it's going to take me a little bit of time, but I'll try not to be too slow about it, but I also want to be as accurate as possible. So here we go. All right, so we are on the 1, and it does have a stop there, so it's not going to let you spin any past that. So we're on 1, which should be good for 100 yards. All right, so this here's the end of the editing. We're going to go ahead and fire the first shot, and then we'll just run on up to the 200 and back down to the 100 and see what it's looking like. Go ahead and spin it to the 2. Throw another sandbag in. Back to safety. See where we're at here. Not bad. All right. 200 yard shot. Listen for the ring, hopefully. And it missed, just went underneath of it by about an inch. We're gonna go ahead and spin back down to the 1 and shoot back into the scribbles there and see if it puts it back where it needs to be at 100 yards. All right, so we're gonna go ahead down there to 100 yards, see how far off the first and third shots were. So keep in mind the CDS dial here is designed for 150 grain round going 2,325 feet per second. Ballistically, there could be something off with the speed that I'm shooting through this. I haven't chronoed it. But we'll go ahead and check what the first and third look like, because as of right now, that's the most important thing, because velocity could be affecting getting a hit at 200 yards. All right, so this was the first shot and this was the second shot, or vice versa, I don't know. But regardless, what this tells me is that, for one, I probably could stand to move to the right a little bit. But as far as elevation, I mean, we are just a little bit over an inch, maybe 1 1/8 there, which is not a bad group when you're talking a 16-inch barreled, sort of low-cost gun, 9-power scope, definitely not a long-range caliber. So that group is not bad at all. I think that it's safe to say that it's tracking pretty well. We'll go ahead and throw the FMJs in there and just kind of compare and see what those look like. I know the group's not going to be quite as good, but I think that the speed is actually closer to what the scope is designed for. So we're going to try this test one more time, this time using the Winchester 145 grain FMJs, and we're going to see. I spun the box around, so now we're shooting at basically a shipping label on the side of that box. We're going to do the same thing though. I'm going to fire one at 100, then we'll twist it up to 200 and shoot back down to 100 and just kind of see what's happening there. All right, we are on the 1, which is 100. Let's go ahead and fire the first one. Twist it to 2. That's a hit at 200. Back down to 1. And back to 100. So let's go see what that looks like. So this is the first shot. This is the third shot. At first glance, obviously it doesn't look that impressive, but what I want you to keep in mind is, one, this is the FMJ ammo, which we already know doesn't shoot the best in this rifle. The second thing is pay more attention to the elevation, because that's what we're testing right now, is how reliably and how accurately this thing will return back to R0. So we're really only looking at about an inch different, which is about what it was on the first 3 shots using the Deer Season XP. So that tells me that it's doing its job. It's bringing it back to where it's supposed to be. So that's a good thing. All right, so what do I think of the new Leupold VX Freedom 350 Legend scope? Honestly, I'm actually impressed with it, because we're not talking a $1,200 scope here. We're talking a budget line scope to go on a budget line rifle. I think that this pair works really, really well together. If you're in the market for a 350 Legend chambered rifle and just wanting something as a work rifle, you know, something that you don't care to beat up, I think that this is a great option for a rifle. I think that this is a great option to pair with it. From what I can tell, it is returning back to 0 every time, so that's a good thing. I think that the next step that we're going to take is getting a few different kinds of ammo and getting a chronograph, because I want to see how close we are to what this dial is designed for before we, you know, make any rash decisions about whether or not it's working. It did better with the FMJ as far as elevation than it did with the Deer Season XP, but the Deer Season XP could potentially be a little bit slower or faster. I don't know. Until you put it on a chronograph, there's really no way of telling. So next step is different ammo. So let me know in the comment section what kind of ammo that you think I should try with this, and keep it hunting bullets. I don't care about FMJ, because after these videos are done, I'll never fire FMJ through another 350 Legend again. Rifles are designed to kill, in my opinion, and that's what I would do with it. So deer, coyotes, stuff like that. Even what we've seen so far, this thing is plenty accurate enough, and the elevation adjustments are all working well enough that you could use it for deer, as is with Winchester Deer Season XP. But I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist in that, so I want to get something that will really, really tighten that up. And maybe the Deer Season XP will. I mean, we haven't broke this barrel in properly yet, so I just wiped it out before I started firing. It's not been properly cleaned after the first 2 boxes of rounds have been through it, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to clean it, get some different brands of ammo, and go from there. But so far, honestly, and you all know that I give unbiased reviews, and I'll tell you what I think. I'm actually impressed with it. You know, I think for the money and what you're getting, I think that it's an awesome value setup that has got a lot of applications. You know, I mean, you can do a lot with this setup here, I think. So definitely check these out. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Until next time, y'all be safe.